I'm going to say hello to everybody before we get started. Today's a very busy day. We have 17 in here. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hello, Don Emery, Leslie, keeping it real. Hope you feel better soon, sweetie. I know we just dealt with a lot of sickness and it was rough for about 3 weeks. Let's see here. Memo. Hello, Memo. Come in. Roxy R. Daisy Duke. Let's see. Grace Paris is in the house. I had to say that, Grace. Let's see. Go on down. Y'all are chatting. Hey, YouTuber is here. Come on in. Come on in. Town chat. Hello. Congratulations, Kiki. I just noticed you have mods now. Woo! Now the next goal is to be able to get members. I know, right? I know. Moving on up in the world. Mimi, Ma, Sandy, hello. Kathy Gordon, hello. Kelly East, hello. Come on in. We got a lot to cover, guys. Lots and lots to cover. We got a lot in the chat today. Let's see here. We are going to put our disclaimer up. Y'all know that this is for educational commentary, criticism, and reporting, research and education, teaching only. We do not call anyone guilty. They are not guilty until proven in the court of law. I do want to bring out a lot of stuff today. Lots and lots. So, all right, let's get started. I don't know how many people were here at the beginning. We're going to talk about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, February 25th, between the hours of supposedly midnight and 6 a.m., but we do not know that. Some believe that he did not make it home. Some believe he did. Come on in, come on in. We have 23 here now. Come on in, guys. But we are going to cover some old things. Hello, Shadow. Come on in. Good to see you. Deanna D. Hello. We're going to cover some things. I found a channel that I used to watch when I first came on YouTube. And I don't know anything about the person. They do videos and commentary on videos and evidentiary value, which, Ellie says nothing's of evidentiary value. Have a lot going on in this case. Lots. So much that I have like 15 tabs pulled up. But we're going to try to make it through today. Let's see. This channel doesn't have many followers, but, they were actually looking at the Texas Roadhouse footage at the beginning when Sebastian first went missing. And I kind of like her commentary. Maybe I don't believe everything, that is being said, but maybe I do. I'll tell you my opinion. But it makes sense now that you go back and look at it. Also, there was a call that was leaked out from Bobby UA, and I can't even remember his name. I want to say Craddock, but it's not Craddock. It's Crabtree. Okay? And if you were in Lady Freedom's chat the other day, then you got to hear that. And I'm not going to get to play the whole thing today, but we'll do it in segments. And I want to really go over that because the things I heard in that phone call kind of stood out to me. Thank you, guys. Thank you, mods, for keeping the chat busy. Thank you. First off, let's bring up. Thank you, Grace. Thank you for saying happy birthday. I got 30 in chat now, so chat's moving on. I know that's not big for some, but for some it is. Okay, we were talking about the other night in the chat with Lady Freedom. some of us were talking, the LE evidently did not search the Brinks van that was Katie's, allegedly. So I pulled up. Does. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to pull up. Um, oh, hang on. We got a video. I didn't realize it was a video. No, that's the video. Nope. Nope. Hang on, guys. That's not what I wanted to click on. I don't know what's jumping to there. Let's take that down. Take it down. Take it down. Sorry. Trying to see. Wanted to read about the Brinks video. The Brinks van. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if this is what I needed. There's a lot in chat. A lot in chat. Let me get this pulled up. Let's see here. And that's not going to pull up. I'm not going to pull it on screen. I'll just read it to you. It's likely that Brinks installer vans have cameras for security and operational monitoring, especially for tracking the vehicles and their contents. But the presence of a specific camera system isn't guaranteed for every van. While standard home security and some armored truck systems use cameras for providers like Alarm.com or Sky Watch, information on specific equipment for Brinks installer vans isn't publicly detailed. Okay. And usually they use these cameras to track the vehicle's location and assure it remains en route or stays within the designated service areas, and also for speeding. So that's a little information on the Brinks van. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. It says it's likely that Brinks installer vans have cameras for security and operational monitoring, especially for tracking the vehicles and their contents. But the present, okay, I already read that. So I had two screens pulled up on that. Sorry. Okay. I also typed in because we heard Mr. Chris. Hello, Kai. Come on in. 53 in chat. Wow, guys. Thank you. It says, can you look up license plate? Hello, Elaine. License plate readers if you're just the normal average Joe. Okay? I'm going to pull that up. Let's see if we can see this. We're going to get into some interesting videos, needless to say. Let's see here. Hello, Rita Bell. Come on in. Guys, I'm hopping from screen to screen today, so if I don't get to say hello everyone coming in. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. You cannot directly look up the real-time location of all license plate readers because the data is proprietary and protected by law. But you can find some publicly available information through ACLU records and state-level statutes. Because Mr. Chris said there was, 700 plate readers or something that didn't pick anything up, right? Right? Yeah. Well, it's only on, hang on just a second, guys. Okay, guys. Okay. Sorry, you may hear kids in the background. She's wanting shoes. Anyways, it says LPR cameras are placed on law enforcement vehicles and at fixed locations on public property and roadways to track vehicles and people. Okay, so we see that. I'm going to clear out of that. Okay, now we're going to go to the call. We're going to go, hey, 60 in chat, 36 thumbs up. Please hit it. Hit the like or the thumbs up for Kiki. Hello, Angel of Light. Blessings. Hello, everyone coming in. Hit that thumbs up, please. And subscribe if you're interested in my content. Okay, we're going to give credit to Lady Freedom. We're going to let this play for about 12 minutes. If you have headphones, I would suggest that you use your headphones or headset because UA is very loud, Bobby is in between, and Crabtree is very low. Okay, but what they're saying, this was a phone conversation that was happening, okay, between them. And Bobby did not know that she was being recorded, allegedly. Okay, we're going to play this. Give credit to Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives, please. And I'm going to pull this up on stage and pull my banner up for you guys. And she doesn't care if I play it, so I'm not playing the music.
That, you know, this person was nice enough to do this to you. The least you can do is counteract that with, y'all got this all wrong. And it made me mad that he did not even one time defend me. Not one time. Like, you created this, and the least you could do is defend me. But back 2 weeks later and went around, and I told you they started the search all over again, literally from ground one. They knocked on their door and asked them, do you guys have cameras?
I do want to say on there
that's okay. Can we see
that the thing said about bullhorn betting
their cameras actually were working,
aggravated
and there was
me.
a black blob with something thrown over the person's shoulders, walking in between their houses. They carried something over their shoulders, over that ditch. And I'm telling you right now, Katie Crawford being in the military, that woman is strong. I guarantee you she carried him over that and probably gave him to Chris standing on the other side. Because there was something that walked across in between those houses. But here's the thing that I wanted you to hear that he said to me when you were at your truck getting your other phone and everything. I said, I don't understand the whole timestamp thing. He said, yeah, that was really weird to me too. I don't know why it wasn't working. And I said, what do you mean you were surprised it wasn't working? And he said, well, it was working Saturday. And I'm like, oh. And he said, and it was working Tuesday.
So she has already talked about seeing, I hope y'all heard that, seeing someone, a black blob thrown over their shoulder, walking in between houses. They were carrying something over shoulders, over the ditch. Did you guys hear that? I'm going to rewind it just a little bit and let you hear it again. Hang on just a second. And I'm just going to play about 10 minutes of this, and then we'll move forward on the other things that I have. Listen closely, guys.
In that corner of their house, and they told TBI and Sheriff's Office Department their camera wasn't working. Well, they came back 2 weeks later and went around, and I told you they started the search all over again, literally from ground one. They knocked on their door and asked them, do you guys have cameras? And they said, yes, if they're not working. And the guy looked at them and said, that's okay. Can we see it anyway? And sure enough, their cameras actually were working, and there is a black blob with something thrown over the person's shoulders, walking in between their houses. They carried something over their shoulders, over that ditch. And I'm telling you right now, Katie Crawford being in the military, that woman is strong. I guarantee you she carried him over that and probably gave him to Chris standing on the other side. Because there was something that walked across in between those houses. But here's the thing that I wanted you to hear that he said to to me when you were at your truck getting your other phone and everything. I said, I don't understand the whole timestamp thing. And he said, yeah, that was really weird to me too. I don't know why it wasn't working. And I said, what do you mean you were surprised it wasn't working? And he said, well, it was working Saturday. And I'm like, oh. And he said, and it was working Tuesday. He said, and it's only 2 hours off. So it was working the day before and the day after, and it was only 2 hours off.
Yeah, see, that's the weird part. I'm telling you, it's because I'm whoever this was had a zipper.
Oh, I know. I hear that. I guarantee you, it was right.
That's why I was going to bring that down. If it's had to leave, I had to go block it. It's called a zipper. I can shut down every camera around me within probably about 150 to 200 feet.
Well, and that's why I called you as soon as I got home, because after he said I had to go to a doctor's appointment, but as soon as I got home.
From a news that was causing us any federal interference on the site over in Clarksville, Tennessee, and he had this damn thing, and I was like, you can't technically leave me alone.
That's what I wondered too, Lily.
It's almost like a jam.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, since you know more about this than I do. Is it possible that if you do use those things to stop? Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, because adding on to this, the neighbor across the street from me, I had gone over to her house one day to do something, and I couldn't get them to answer the door. And finally, I called her, and I'm like, why are you not answering your door? And she said, I didn't hear anything. I'm like, girl, I'm over here pushing your ring button thing. She has a ring doorbell. Now, they had footage that they turned in, but there wasn't anything on it. Nothing on it. I said, why isn't your doorbell, your ring thing working? And she said, well, I don't know. It was working when this whole thing happened. Her camera just stopped working out of nowhere. The people beside them, same thing. Both of their ring cameras had gotten burned up. Can it do that?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm just wondering who else had that same problem.
Go to YouTube, search zipper, or what we call zipper cat. Like, I'm telling you, I've got this like this one.
You can just buy it.
If I turn this on, I can literally hack the PA system and put the whole.
Okay, so is it possible then that if she had one of those, can you interrupt cameras or whatever for a period of time and then they turn back on?
That would be questionable. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't answer that one just because I know on the RF side of it, because
I'm pausing it right there because they're talking about the camera jammers. Okay. I didn't know that there was jammers you could buy. Okay. But what they're talking about is Crabtree says, yeah, there's zipper cameras. I have one like it. Okay. That's what he states in this call. Okay. In a video, I'm going to show you about these jammers, guys. It states, you got to pay close attention to what I'm trying to say, and this is all in my opinion and allegedly my speculations. But the ADT systems, okay, would have to be, because they are hardwired, they would have to be disconnected in order for the cameras not to work. Anything hardwired would have to, because jammers do not work on home security systems that are hardwired, allegedly. Okay? The people next door have cameras. They're older. They called TBI. Their cameras were not working. TBI stated that, well, we want to see the cameras anyway. So they came back 2 weeks later, searched over again. Okay, and then we heard the black blob thrown over someone's shoulder walking in between houses. They carried something over their shoulders over the ditch. Okay. Okay. We're going to go back to this for a little while, and then we're going to show you about jammers. And I want you to hear, it says, if you listen closely, Evidently, Crabtree, when the search was going on, and this is alleged, and this is what he was talking about with Bobby, because Bobby says, did you talk about what we found out on that drone footage? Okay. So, did Crabtree have a drone out at that time? I don't know, guys, because I wasn't around at that time. I'm just curious. Okay. Then they start talking about seeing an older model white GMC Terrain. Never seen it before. Drove up and drove down round Ellie know who lives there. I don't know what that meant, but I want you to listen. Yes, and it was stated that Katie knew how to jam the cameras. We don't know. And I want you to know, you know how Craddock always says we don't know what we don't know. Well, Bobby states that also. Okay. Hello, me and you, Robin Woods. Hello, everyone coming in. Everyone. I'm going to mute myself and let you guys listen to more, okay?
It's a frequency thing, and it's just like your cameras work off of, it's like 2.5 to 7 gigahertz. That difference depends on if it's pushing more power than the frequency allowed to be received by the said output device. That is got like whether it has an RBS filter in it, whatever it has, it could try yes.
Right, but what I'm saying though is like if she had one of those, knowing that they had a camera at their house where the car was sitting, could she have interrupted like the time or interrupted enough to not shut the camera off, but interrupted enough to stop the timer, the timestamp, and then it comes start working again? Because he said it was working the day before, and then out of nowhere it just starts working again, and it was only stopped for 2 hours. The timestamp is only 2 hours off.
I would say yes. I would say it has to be. I hate to say anything. I can look into it.
I guess I'm just saying, like, is it possible for that? I mean, that just seems to be totally not random, considering what happened.
My thing is here's my thing on all this. The fact that I've heard these people for all fucking years say what you said, and I'm like, dude, he's a little different. I'll give him that. Like, you can tell he's kind of agitated with everything.
Well, because we're just so fed up with it. I mean, we just keep getting, and like he said, his phone, you know, he just kept getting phone calls. And of course, he's frustrated because, like he told me, he said, you know, I even started telling the detectives what I saw, and they argued with me and basically tried to convince me that what I saw was not right. I said, they did the same thing to me. I told your wife that. And he said, I know, she's so frustrated too. It's like no matter what we tell them and no matter what we're seeing, they don't want to hear it. We don't know what we don't know.
I think that, I don't know.
Did you guys just hear what Bobby said? She said that she was talking to the neighbor's wife, okay? And that they said they told law enforcement, but law enforcement was just trying to tell them. Hang on just a second, guys. Anyway, she's talking to the neighbor next door's wife, and they're trying to tell law enforcement what they thought they saw on the camera, allegedly. And law enforcement is trying to convince them that it was nothing, allegedly. So let's continue to play.
I'm interested to see what Chris says. If Chris just texted me, he says doing something with the live show and everything. So I'm interested to see.
He's putting it together. He was putting it together after when I called him after you were doing the drone footage, and I had called him as soon as I got home to tell him what you and I had discovered.
What? No, she has a black Chevy SUV, like she calls Black Beauty. But where she said she was back in Florida today, but she wasn't at her house, and she didn't have Delilah, like her little dog, with her. So
Well, that's not. I know that she drives. I do know because I've seen it. The dark Chevrolet Equinox.
Yeah, that black. Yeah, that's the black one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It come through her when she first came in the first time. But I'm just wondering because everybody knows that's what she drives. Is it possible that she rented a car? Because I'm telling you, when we were out there talking, there was a white GMC Terrain, older model GMC Terrain, that drove up, down, and around. And I was like, where's the car going? Because it didn't recognize that. I've never seen that one before. But we're getting so much traffic now again between her and this reward. We got all kinds of people coming through here again.
I was sitting there, and after you had left, Dick was sitting out there. I talked to him for a minute. And there's like 4 people here on the road that was just turned around.
Yeah, they're just coming through here to see what's going on. Like, okay, great. Thanks. Run through, please. Go away.
The gate at the front of the tickets.
No kidding. I'm like, at what point do we need to, like, could y'all please leave us alone? Just leave us alone. I'm just so done with all this crap. I think that's the thing is a lot of people are just done with all this.
Well, I'm not right there. I didn't even catch you off guard. You live there, and I'm like, no, I'm not. So anybody's going to know she's back in a little area. I'm like, sure, Bobby.
Well, I got home, like I said, and I jumped in the shower really quick because I had this appointment and I was soaking wet with sweat out there talking to you guys. And then it was hot. It was like stupid hot. And then I got on the phone with Chris and we were talking for a little bit. And then my kids were all home and we were doing all that kind of stuff. I had not been outside. So if she came back through here with her car, I didn't see that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. But who was the other person? Who else is on the phone with me? Who is this? That's Chris.
Yeah.
Chris. Am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
How? Why?
Because she's not one of the bad ones.
No, I know, but like you say that, like, yeah, I'm like supposed to know that. How?
You don't TikTok. You watch TikTok, right?
I don't. That's what I told you. I told you I don't have TikTok. I have to look you up and find you.
Damn it.
Well, I was like,
You don't YouTube nothing.
I do watch YouTube.
I'm on YouTube. I don't have my own channel on YouTube. I'm not on like. I just like.
You need to.
Okay, one thing, Grace Paris, I see that you say CP blocked Bobby in the road. That's what she told. Okay, one thing that I found strange on this phone call, if you listen closely, Bobby says, got on the phone. She said, I jumped in the shower, got on the phone with CP. Who was the other person on the phone with me, is what she says. And they say it was Chris. Was I supposed to know that? She said, how? Why? Almost like what's going on behind the scenes. What was she talking behind the scenes to them also? Okay. Alicia P. Hang on just a second. I want to pull your comment up. Can't be the camera that got the footage of the lights that was jammed. That camera is an old camera with a DVR. It is not a Wi-Fi connected wireless type camera. The only cameras that could be jammed. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Very, Alicia. I've got to scroll up here and try. Okay, let's see. Yep. Yeah, I agree. That's what's strange about this. But they did say it was an older couple. We're going to continue on. Hello, Pink Warrior. Come on. But that camera that got footage was not jammed. See, they said that it was jammed. Excuse me. They said this camera was jammed, but they went back and they pulled footage, which I don't understand. Okay. They said that, so it was jammed for like 2 hours. Okay. So, what camera was this? Was it that camera if it worked off DVR and it was hardwired? I'm thinking. I don't know. Don't know. We're going to play a little bit more, guys. And then we'll have to do this in segments because it's like an hour, 13 minutes long. A very long phone call, I believe. And there's a lot of information in this. And Lady Freedom, thank God for her. She pulled it out the other night, and I thought, wow. And you're going to see a lot of surprising different things if you haven't seen this other creator, okay, on the Texas Roadhouse thing.
I'll stick to.
Do you do TikTok as well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. When Riley Riley Strain was missing, I was undercover in the homeless encampments.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, I mean.
You should hear her fucking story.
Oh, that's like super crazy, man.
No, she got balls of stinky things. You know how you said that about balls?
Yeah.
She got some balls on.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between vocalizing things, saying things, versus physically doing things. Because physically doing it and being out in the field doing it is like horrible. But I think
Betty has mental she has a mental disorder balls. Like,
she's a narcissist. She's a psychopathic narcissist. She wants everybody to feel sorry for her because she came out here and worked her butt off. I'm gonna tell you something. Our neighborhood, I personally called the police on her. Personally myself.
So Bobby's saying she personally called the police on Bullhorn Betty. That's what she's saying on this phone call. I guess I don't comprehend if a child's missing, like it's beyond my comprehension. I know the aggravation of somebody driving by your house, taking pictures or videoing. I could probably see that, okay? But when a person is trying to advocate and find out what's going on, right? And you have a child missing in the subdivision, and they're trying to advocate for that missing child. Why would you call a cop on them? This just don't make sense to me, okay? I'm glad that Bobby came out. But in my opinion, it seems like she's a little wishy-washy with which side that Valley Girl. Yeah, here. I agree, in my opinion, okay? Yeah. Feel like she's wishy-washy. And I don't know if she's scared, guys. I don't know. We're going to continue to play. Hang on just a second.
And several of the other neighbors around here were throwing a fit about her just nonchalantly driving through, taking videos, and then getting out of her car and walking on her neighborhood without asking a single person, stapling these papers, the flyers, to the pole, which it's great. I'm glad that you're trying to put the word out, but could you have asked first? And then, ironically, a big storm comes through and literally blows every one of them off.
Well, here's the problem. It's one thing to do it for general somebody that cares. Like, Francine and I went out there posting all this shit, but she was up there doing it. I wouldn't post it out there while I'm searching.
I don't know that that's doing anything. I just don't see how posting flyers in their neighborhood.
Yeah, she did that. She did that for, like, it wasn't for she did that to harass them. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's all it was harassment, and just to say, so
a middle finger, like, hey, try and stop me.
Dude, what she's doing right now is a middle finger where she's using whoever's family.
Yes.
She's using somebody like that. And I said that to Tim Bailey, and I said, you're just gonna let this happen? Like, she's literally making y'all look stupid.
That's what bothers me is, and that's why I called you earlier to be like, I don't agree with how law enforcement handled this in the very beginning.
When I went up there earlier, though, when I was on the phone with you and I went to Sheriff's Department, I was talking to them. Right. They said what you said. They said, look, man, there's not much we can do unless she specifically mentions them full on. Yeah. And as far as the neighborhood, he said, when you put one of those security cameras in, he said, at the end of the day, like you said, it's
update on this. Was it last night? Night before last? Not before last. When we had this weird black truck come through the neighborhood, it was completely blacked out, which really creeped me out. When the deputy, not the deputy, the officer came up and talked to me, and I was telling him what was happening. Of course, he found a person, and they claimed to have car issues, which doesn't make any sense if you're going to be completely blacked out. Like, that's weird. But anyway, so we were talking, and I told him, I said, I feel like nobody cares about us. It's all about protecting the people who are doing this. Like, I'm all for, your amendment in the Constitution. I'm 100% for those. We have to have our constitutional rights. But at what point do we as families who are trying to live a private life that didn't ask for this, where do we get protection? None. There is zilch. So he said, you need to talk to your commissioner and see if there's anything that he can do to change things or add things or something to help
Bobby,
protect you guys.
Here's a suggestion. Why don't y'all do, put up a sign that's like, this neighborhood is under video surveillance. You don't have to actually put it under.
Okay, so we're going to move forward. I'm just going to go over, excuse me, what was said. Thank you, Daisy. You put somebody in the corner. Did they get a juice box and crayons? Can you make sure they get that, please? I'm not seeing what's going on in chat. Sorry, guys. Thank you, mods. I really appreciate you. Evidently, when we get trolls, we're on to something special, allegedly. Bobby says she personally called Ellie on Betty. All the people was having a fit because she was stapling flyers to the pole. And then they say that storms come through and blows every one of them off. And Crabtree says, good. Okay? Yeah. I don't see how posting flyers in a subdivision does any good, is what Bobby says. I said to them, you're going to let this happen? Talking to Ellie. Ellie said, put security camera in. And she called sheriff's department about a weird black truck that came through, blacked out. She said it really creeped her out. When Ellie came to talk to her, person claimed that they had car issues and the car was completely blacked out. Okay. How do neighbors get protection? She says. Ellie says to talk to your commissioner. See if they can add or help in any way. And it also states, I don't know if you guys caught this, that the neighbor bought a plate reader. Okay, Craddock says. Or not Craddock, but what's his name? Crabtree. Crabapple. What's good? They're saying, what good is it going to do? Is what Bobby says. So she calls the commissioner 2 times, no call back. And they said, they're talking, they said Sumner County, and no. So there's more information on that video, I do believe, that we need to listen to. But guys, I cannot be here for 3 hours and we have to move forward. I apologize. Tomorrow will be the second part of that video and we'll just concentrate on that video only. Okay. Wanted to pull out some really, really important things. We're going to learn about jammers for a second. Okay. I'm going to pull this up. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. There's 94 people in here. I think that's the most we've had because we are new. But let's see. This is going to talk about criminals using computers. And we're not, hang on, I'm going to start it over. Hopping all over the place. Hang on. Let's share this. Sorry, guys. Let's do our banner. And this is going to credit George Langabeer. He's going to explain about jammers. Okay. Most of the time, the only time that they're very hard to find is what I've heard. Most of the time, you have to get them from overseas or somewhere like that. So let's pull this on stage. Let's learn about jammers and how they work. Okay. Credit goes to George Langabeer. Criminals using Wi-Fi jammers, should you be worried? This is a 4-minute video. I am going to put the banner up there. We're not calling anyone a criminal. He is explaining what criminals do. Want to be clear on that. And let's play.
What up, everybody? George Langabeer here. On the channel, we talk about the smart home and we talk about home security. When we're talking about those two topics, a lot of the devices that we're talking about require Wi-Fi to work. Then I look in my comments every day from my subscribers and general viewers, and because of that, I see a lot of people discussing Wi-Fi jammers, being worried about Wi-Fi jammers. Now, what are they? Think of two people trying to have a conversation, standing across from each other. Then all of a sudden, some idiot jumps in the middle of them and just starts screaming at the top of their lungs for no other reason but to interrupt that conversation. That's what a Wi-Fi jammer is. It creates noise on your Wi-Fi network so your devices can't communicate with each other properly. A lot of people think it's some pulse that wipes out all your electronic devices. No, that's a different thing. A Wi-Fi jammer is just creating that noise. And again, things can't communicate properly. So that can be a problem when you've got the smart home and you're relying on these devices to work, or more importantly, home security devices that rely on Wi-Fi. If a criminal took them out, then you're in trouble. Now, they're illegal in the United States and pretty much every country because they can be a big problem. They can disrupt public safety communication. And again, criminals can get their hands on them to break into your house. Now, what I want to talk about specifically is, should you be worried about them? Because so many people in the comments are. 99% of the time, I would say no. Now, because they're illegal, they're very hard to get. You have to go on the illegal market to buy them. Now, there are some high-grade criminals that know where to find the good ones, but most criminals do not. And so they buy these cheap versions and they don't work. That's what happens in a lot of cases with these criminals. So it is very uncommon for these to happen, at least the good ones. So 99% of the people worried don't need to worry. Usually you are a high-profile target with a lot of money or something in your house where they have scoped it out and they are specifically targeting you. That's when it happens. You see all these news outlets talking about these Wi-Fi jammers, and it's getting more and more prevalent. That's clickbait. They're trying to get you to watch their story or click on their story, whatever it may be, because it's not happening as much as you think. They're very, very rare. Now, even though it's rare, it could happen. So what can you do to prevent it from happening to you? All right, with the smart home and home security, you've got all these Wi-Fi devices. What you need to do is try to hardwire as many of them as possible straight to your router or a PoE, power over Ethernet. Get as many devices as you can wired. Now, it's important for your Wi-Fi devices, but especially important for your home security devices. Now, if you've heard me talk, I talk till I'm blue in the face about how proactive I think security cameras are. But when you're talking about Wi-Fi security cameras, they're prone to things like Wi-Fi jammers. So you want to get yourself a wired NVR security camera system. That's the most reliable way to go. And if you have one of those, you just take all these question marks out of the equation. Now, I'll put a video link in the description where I talked about my favorite wired NVR system. But again, they're the most reliable way to go. In fact, with a wired NVR system, if you connect it to a battery backup power supply, then even power can't take out that system. So if you're talking about cellular devices and Wi-Fi devices, yeah, they can be susceptible to these jammers. A wired NVR security camera system cannot. And again, even with your Wi-Fi devices, wired can't be jammed. So keep that in mind. Do I think you need to be worried? No. But if you are, do what I just said. What do you think? Are you one of the people that have brought up the Wi-Fi
Okay, guys, we're going to move forward because we've been on here a little while. I enjoy being with you guys. I really do. Let's see here. I'm going to close that out. And we are going to play something. There's like 4 parts to this. Okay. But we are going to pull this up because I find it very, very interesting. This is the Texas Roadhouse video, but it is from, let me give her credit. Let's see. I didn't type it. I will type it on a banner, but credit goes to, let's see here. Gosh, I have it wrote down. Carrie Reviews. Have you guys heard of that channel? This was what she put out. I think it was like right at the beginning when Sebastian went missing, or a few months after. I'm going to add her channel. If the mods can drop it, please. I would appreciate it. We're going to pull up Carrie Reviews. I'm going back to chat so I can see you guys. Okay. Oh, and you're fine, honey. You can, yeah, that's fine, honey. Good to have you. Good to have y'all. These videos are very informative, in my opinion. Okay, we're going to start by, there was, and I've not seen this in a while. I think I saw it at the very beginning. But there was a suspicious lady in the Texas Roadhouse parking lot with a black jacket on. Have you guys seen that? Because I don't think I've seen it since the beginning. Let me pause it. My screen's jumping everywhere. Sorry, guys. Let's pause. Good grief. Okay. Let me add this to the stage so you guys can see it. You didn't see it, man, you? Got to put my banner out to give her credit. I feel like she done really good on these videos, in my opinion. But everything is alleged and speculation. We're not blaming anyone with anything, correct? We are just speculating. So here goes. Let's play this. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And then you have a minute, where can we go? Talk about it somewhere only we know. This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Okay, so there is, yes, me, Ma. Yes, I'm going to pull that one up too. There is the lady in the parking lot in a black jacket. Looks like she's on her phone. Haven't seen much about that. We know allegedly that LE did not do a very good investigation. If they even came out and investigated anyone at Texas Roadhouse, we don't know, right? Like Craddock says, we don't know what we don't know. But at night has put out their information requesting that those people were they interviewed. So we are going to go to the second video. This is a series of videos, very quick clips. And we're going to this. No, let's go to part 1. And it's still the same page, the same one to give credit to. Carrie Reviews.
Wow, what I just found could be the perfect exchange. Look at this. Look at. Do you see the hoodie person walking? Okay. Hoodie person is going to walk. Keep an eye on hoodie person. You will see they go behind the bushes. Watch. Right here. There they are. Look at the lights flashing to the left here in a second. Because he don't know where to go, or she don't know where to go. Look. They quickly turn off. Now pay attention. After the 2 white cars drive by, there goes the second one. Now, I believe here comes Sebastian. Allegedly. Wow. What I just
Okay,
found
let's go to
could be the perfect
the
exchange.
second
Look at this.
part
Look
of
at.
this
Do you see the
video.
hoodie person?
I'm going to pull that up. We're just doing it in sequence because I found it very interesting after the fact that we're concentrating on Texas Roadhouse, right? In my opinion. Let's pull this up quickly because it is shutting on very quick.
Keep a close eye. Right there. There he is. And now I believe he got into a car, and that car just drives off. Right here, watch. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you why I think it's Sebastian. So here I zoomed in, and there goes the first car, the first white car. Now here comes the second white car.
Yes, Mimi, Ma, Sandy, I can send this
Okay,
to my
now
friend.
here comes Sebastian in a few seconds. Do you remember Sebastian? He wasn't wearing a jacket or a hoodie, or he was just wearing his Yoda t-shirt. Keep a close eye. Right there.
Okay, let's go to
There he is.
part 3. Okay. We're going to move to part 3. We're going through these very quick. They're very short, but shows a lot in my opinion. Right here's part 3. Let me click on that. Appreciate everyone being here. You don't know what it means to me. And here we go.
And look, there he is. Watch his arm right there. Were you able to see that his sleeves weren't covered? He didn't have sleeves, or his arms weren't covered. Here comes the car that just drives off now. It looks like a dark SUV. There it is again. I just replayed it. And look, there he is. Watch his arm right there. Were you able to see that his sleeves weren't covered? He didn't have sleeves, or his arms weren't covered. Here comes the car that just drives off now. It looks like a dark SUV. There it is again. I just replayed it. And look, there he is. Watch his arm right there. Were you able to see that his sleeves weren't covered? He didn't have sleeves, or his arms weren't covered.
Okay, guys, we're going to the next video. I'm going to shut this one off.
Here comes the car that just drives up.
I don't know if this was reported. I haven't a clue. I found this on the YouTube. I would hope so. But at that time, everybody was saying call Sumner County, in my opinion. And we've seen what that's done. So hang on just a second, guys. Hang on, let me get this shared and watch this.
Hey guys, so there's a couple things that I noticed in this video. I noticed that Sebastian is putting something in his pocket because he was about to get out, and it seems like Katie might have told him something, and so he kind of kept the door cracked. Watch right here. And I think she's giving him something, and he has to put it in his pocket before he gets out. And it seems like he's a little irritated, and that's why. Watch, look. It seems like he's putting something in his pocket. Then I believe as soon as he sits down at the table, he takes something out of his pocket. And now it looks like he's irritated. Hey guys, so there's a couple things that I noticed in this video. I noticed that Sebastian is putting something in his pocket because he was about to get out, and it seems like Katie might have told him something, and so he kind of kept the door cracked. Watch right here. And I think.
Okay, guys, let's do a couple more and we will be done. This is credit also. This channel, I like this channel. Let's see here. Right here is a video. It says after Katie and Sebastian leave. Okay, and I think this is the same channel. Yes. Push play on that. Let's share it on the screen. I'll let this play a couple times.
So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin.
Okay, wanted you guys to see that. And let's see, we've got, let's see here, a few more things and I'm done. Okay, this, I want y'all to listen. This was from the beginning from Jennifer Coffindiffer. Okay, credit goes to Break the Case with Jennifer Coffindiffer. This was 7 months ago. And listen to what she speaks about, guys, about law enforcement. Okay, I just want y'all to listen closely. And I will pull that up. Hey, TJ, come on in. Come on in. Guys, sorry if I haven't said yes. Or hello to you. Yes. Sorry. Hang on just a second. Let me find this for you. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Hang on. Right here. Credit goes to Jennifer Coffin Diaper on this one. Hang on. Let me get it up on stage. And then there we go. Listen closely.
There was a flashlight video that became public through Nick Barris, who works at the local television network down in the Tennessee area. And he came forward with this flashlight video. Many of you have seen it. Certainly anybody following the case has seen it. And essentially what it shows is there's a light out in the distance, a fuzzy light, but that's not the one of importance. The one of importance is the backyard vantage, and you see two individual light sources. You see one light source that is further away from the house, one light source that is closer to the house, then it's obstructed or obscured by bushes, and then it appears to go in the same way as the other light source. Then the light source number one disappears, then light source number two disappears, and then you later see light source number two reappear. Okay, many people have looked this over. Chris, the mob crew, has done an amazing job. In fact, I'm very much looking forward to joining Chris soon. We're going to do a show together. We're going to be putting it together. And so I'm very excited about that because he's a no-nonsense guy. He's not about drama. He's about facts. He works his tail off, and he's in it for the right reasons. So I'm excited to join him. But I just need to come on here really quick. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate the memberships and everybody coming on. But I got to tell you about the lights. And the reason I have to tell you, and I don't even have my normal equipment here or anything. I wasn't planning on doing a live, but I got the last piece of information I needed. So let me go over again. According to the video screen that we've all seen of the lights, this recording occurred at 3:10 in the morning on the 26th. So basically the night Sebastian went missing, okay? And there has been so much controversy about this. And I actually recently spoke about this on a live very recently. And there was some information that came up that really gave me pause. And I was concerned because it was stated that actually Seth Rogers had come out, and I knew Katie and Chris had come out and said, listen, it's garbage trucks and it's garbage. It's not relevant to the investigation. And then, of course, I already knew what Craddock has said, but we're going to go over it again really quickly. So on the Pascal show on March 29th, Seth Rogers, and you can check it, it's at the 9-minute mark. And I really wanted to thank the account that alerted me to this, which was the account that I was recently on. And I will put a link at the bottom to her channel because she also tries to stay very fact oriented. But essentially, Seth says on the Pascal show, when Pascal specifically tries to nail it down with him, he says, listen, I viewed the whole video, and what everybody is seeing is, like, he describes it as a 3.5x5 card, you know, a smaller video of that. He also says that the time stayed at, I think it was 3:10. Or 3:11, that it was sort of stuck. And so he says, well, it was a malfunction of equipment, right? And that is kind of what we're left with from Seth. Then on June 11th, actually, there was Chris comes on solo, and I've also saw Chris and Katie come on about this. But basically, he comes on and he says, listen, I want to address the flashlight thing. We've spoken to TBI. They've really analyzed it, and there's nothing here to see, folks, nothing here to see. essentially is what he says. You could go ahead and look at that. It's a clip. The best one I liked was the one on June 11th, where he specifically just talks about the flashlight video and basically says, TBI says, nada, nothing here. I want to talk about what Eric Craddock says. He says this on April 2nd in an interview with Nick Barris. And he specifically says about the flashlight video when Nick hammers it in. No evidentiary value. That's a quote. He says that, and then Nick kind of grills him more on it. Well, wait a minute, no evidentiary value now or ever. And he says, well, you know, we don't know what we don't know. It could play a role at a later time. And he also says, I can't tell you what the lights are. That's specifically what Craddock says. This is key to me. I can't tell you what the lights are, but we're trying to say, don't look at the lights. Okay. So this is my take on all this. By the way, 310 is the lights that he's referring to. So we have those statements, and this is the bottom line. I needed to get a lot of clarification on some things. And the bottom line is, I'm telling you, in my opinion, those lights are important. Those lights are not garbage lights. They are in two different areas. They're in two different directions. There might be other lights that are garbage lights. As far as the time frame, we're only told briefly that Seth recalls that the timekeeper did not roll in what he saw. Okay. I think Seth, and I've heard this said by other creators too. I think Seth and I think Katie and I think Chris are following the party line. It's clear to me Craddock was not giving a direct, clear answer. He's given direct, clear answers before. He gave direct answers about the glasses. He gave a direct written answer about the green hoodie when all of that came out recently. He is not giving direct, clear answers about the lights. And furthermore, he's not giving direct and clear answers about whether the parents are cleared. You know, and I understand why. It's an ongoing investigation. And quite frankly, he hasn't cleared Chris and Katie. People can argue he hasn't cleared Seth, and I will also say that he hasn't cleared Seth. But I've seen the information from Seth's work, and he just wasn't there. So I just wanted to reiterate that this light video, for when you go to watch it, I wanted to give you the sources to look at in terms of what the parents have said. Chris Proudfoot, again, check out the June, I think it was released. I think it was from earlier.
Okay. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you so much. And as we see, there's a newer video out that she is saying that she, in my opinion, allegedly, that she is saying that the lights have no value. And that upset a lot of people. I don't know what's going on with all this back and forth. Have no clue. Okay. But kind of weird to me. Very, very strange, in my opinion. Okay. We are going to finish out. And I was not. I'm going for an hour and 12 minutes now, but I wanted to get all this out there. You know, I wanted to look at Texas Roadhouse again and, excuse me, and talk about the lights that FBI is stating, you know, is nothing, in my opinion. Detroit City, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, in my opinion, I'll say. But we're going to finish, and this has language. So if y'all want to put trigger warning for language, this is what War D Eagle posted. When we have a missing child's father, he is the father. Seth is, okay? Chris, Seth is the father. War Eagle posted this of Chris making fun of Seth, which is very tasteless, trashy, in my opinion. Okay? I'm just going to speak of how it is because that's what it is. And the good Lord does repay. If y'all know, vengeance is mine. I shall repay, is what the Bible says. And I believe that when you do someone wrong and you're mean to someone, it comes back tenfold. Okay? Thank you for dropping that. Yeah. Yeah. Robin, I think, yeah. Yeah, Robin, I think so too. I see y'all's comments. I see that. So we're going to play this. It does have the language. It doesn't have it beeped out. So I'm sorry. But, you know, some people can't talk without saying an F word. So you all will hear some language. And I apologize because I don't like it on my channel. But I am going to bring this out and let y'all see what a stepdad of a missing child likes to do instead of look for their son, or supposedly their son.
Do you motherfuckers even know who this is? Yeah, they know your voice. Look at what he wrote. Paper. Hashtag FUBJ. I was so fucking excited. I really thought that bitch was serving me. I was happier than hell. Fuck y'all. What are you doing? And why are you dressed like that? I know who you're trying to be.
You gotta fit the part. Turn your camera around over where they can see. Hold on, let me turn this light up.
Look at this. Look at this motherfucker, y'all. Can you see him? Oh my God. I'm so irritated right now. I really thought I was getting fucking. Show me your.
It's fucking bad to say Samael.
My name's Deputy Samael. I'm with the Special Police Department from the hashtag FUBJ.
Show me your thing.
Yeah, I got my
Super soaker.
My super soaker.
I can't stand y'all. Do you motherfuckers even know who this is? Yeah, they know your voice. Look at what he wrote. Paper. Hashtag FUBJ.
Okay, so that was the stepdad making fun of a real dad, and that's completely ridiculous. So what are we saying in chat? Let's see here. Let's see. Yes, Seth took the lie detector test with Nancy Grace. Me and you. Yep, Kathy, CP is a weak-willed person, in my opinion. Agree, Bubble Beth. That's not true. Seth has never been cleared. Yeah, all three have not been cleared. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. But yeah, I just don't comprehend, guys, why you would take the time out to show up at another creator's house and dress like that and act that way. But you know, some of us have class and some don't. We'll just say that. Yeah, Tay, I agree. Over there with all that free time playing dress up, wishing he could be as good a man and father as Seth is. You know what I think? I think it was jealous because Seth got some attention drawn to him when Seth went in front of the courthouse. I think it's he wants attention a narcissistic person, in my opinion, okay, wants attention on them. It's always about them and no one else. So that's my opinion. And I'll be making a little short and on that little video. Okay. I appreciate you guys coming in. I'm getting texts galore. I'll be looking at emails and texts. My email is in the chat. If y'all need to talk to me about anything, please do not send me tips. If you have a tip about where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is, please contact the FBI or Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I'll add those numbers to my chat after the live stream. But also tonight, guys, me and Lady Freedom will be on Crime Time Buzz panel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to come over there and talk, that will be awesome. I think it's going to be fun. There may be more people on the panel. So that is going to be fun tonight. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Crime Time Buzz. Okay? I'm so excited to be over there. And we will talk over there, guys. Love you guys. Thank you. I appreciate everyone for being here. I appreciate my mods. And hope that this was informative. Love you guys. Have a great evening.